Finally, let's briefly turn our attention to this line 51 here, main. So I told you calling main like this is not ideal, but I've been pushing off talking about why that is. And it really has to do with when your code is used as an external module to other code, right? Either code you write or if you write a package, people who consume your package. And let's see what the problem is. Let me just create a program 2. Now over here in this program 2, suppose we would like to do this print header thing up here at the top. This print header method, granted it's unlikely you would import that whole thing just to get this, but go with the idea. Imagine I want to use this print header method up here. So I would like to do something like, let's just say import program. Great. And I could say program.printheader. Now let's make this super obvious what's happening in terms of the program flow. So I'll do a print and say about to import program. Let's call this step 1. Down here we'll do a step 2, program imported, and then maybe a step 3, printing header, and we'll add a step 4 down at the very end here. Done. Done with program. Now, if you think how we want this to work, it should print about to import program. It should perform that silently. Then it should print program imported. Then it should print printing the header and have that little header part. Remember, it's going to say dash 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 journal app dash dash. And then it should say done. And it should just run without user input, conceptually the way we're trying to run it. However, that is not what's going to happen. So let me run this really quick. Now it says about to import program, and we see the header. Okay, that's a little early, but let's see what else is going on. Now it says, what do you want to do with your journal? And I can apparently interact with it. Weird. Okay, that was pretty unexpected. If I hit exit, it exits, and then it says, okay, now the program is imported. So all of this, from here to there, that's literally line 2 of our program, program2.py. What the heck is going on? Well, remember the way that Python defines classes, functions, variables, and so on, is it literally executes this file top to bottom. It says, okay, we're going to execute importing the journal, all the stuff that means, and we're going to execute defining main, we're going to execute defining print header, and so on. This is all looking fine until we get to here. This actually has side effects. This actually starts that event loop that we saw going around and around. So in order to use this, I kind of need to not call it when we're importing it. So here it worked fine. Now that I commented that out, it worked the way we expected. So in Python, there's a convention that allows us to say, if you're trying to run this program, do some extra code. But if you're trying to be a library, just define the features, the variables, functions, classes, and so on during import. It all has to do with this special implicit variable called under name. There are several implicit values we can get out of this module. One is the actual full path to the file that's executing. That can be really handy when you're trying to find something relative to the current module. And this name, this one actually is the convention we're going to use. So let me just run this. Remember, we're running program 2. We're going to import this. You'll see that this should be program, and this should actually be the full path to program. Here you can see that's the under file, and here you can see that is under name. Let's make this super explicit. So I'll put under file and under name. And when I run it, you see the file is that, program is that. Could use a space, but you get the idea. Okay, now let's go over here. Let me add those spaces. Now let's go over here and change the app that we're running. We're going to run program itself. So when I run program, the file did not change, but check out what happened to the name. It became under main under. So the convention in Python is when you are running a script, if it's the thing, the target of execution, its under name is set to under main. If, on the other hand, it's being imported, it's just the name of the Python file, typically without the extensions. Okay, so how does that help us? Well, down here in main, we can do this. We can say if under name, is this main, then in that case, that means we're trying to run this program right now, so let's kick off the main. On the other hand, if it's being imported, if this is program rather than main, just don't execute our code, just let it define the functions and variables. So if I run program, that's this file right now, it should be main, so it should act like our original app, right? It lets us list entries and exit. On the other hand, if I'm trying to import it, whereas I'm running this program, it's not going to be called under main, it's going to be called program. So let's run that. Now notice file is, of course, what it is. Name is program. We did not call main, so it worked exactly like we wanted. One, about to import program, boom, done importing, printing the header. So if we did not have this little print bit here, it would act exactly like you would have initially expected program 2 to run.